What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
The San Antonio Spurs just lost to the Los Angeles Clippers. And if you looked at Victor Wembanyama's box score, you would say he had a great game. He had a good game. He did. Victor Wembanyama had 24 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 9 blocks. 9 blocks. He stuffed the stat sheet. He did. So what am I so disgruntled about right now and on the season when it comes to Wemby? It's his offensive game. Now, let me make this very clear. I understand there are two sides on the basketball floor. You play both sides of the ball. You play both ends of the court. And Wemby, in my opinion, is the best defensive player in the NBA. He's that elite this early in his career. And that means a lot. I understand that. He's more or less a complete player. But I'm specifically talking about his offensive game. This is what this video is about. And this is pretty much my only problem with Victor Wembanyama is his offensive game. How he scores. Using his height to his advantage. Getting closer to the basket. Yeah, Wemby had 24 points, but he shot 9 for 22 from the field. 2 for 9 from three-point land. Damn near half of his shot attempts were three-pointers. He is not using his size to his advantage. Yes, he put on muscle in the offseason, but he's still not strong enough to move players. Players significantly smaller than him. So he has to find ways to get into position before getting the basketball, get low post position, and then call for the ball. You can do that with your footwork. You can do that with your body movement until your gains and your strength catches up to your ability to maneuver around the court and slip into positions. But he doesn't do that. He's not very good at it. You can't be Wemby's height in this small NBA, this tiny NBA with all this small ball, and just chuck up bricks from beyond the arc all game long, where it consumes damn near half of your shot attempts. You are letting the other team off the hook. You really are. And sometimes I see teams throwing double teams at Wemby when he's outside the paint. I would never do that. And you're wondering how his other San Antonio Spurs players are slipping to the basket, Wemby direct pass or across the court into the player at the hoop for an easy layup, because these dummies are double. I wouldn't double team him outside the paint. Hell no. I want him to keep shooting those, please. I literally saw Wemby try to move Norman Powell. Norman Powell, the guard for the Los Angeles Clippers. He couldn't move Norman Powell. He was trying to get into the paint just by his strength. He couldn't move Norman Powell. In Wemby's second season, he's averaging 18 points per game, a shade under 10 rebounds, about 3 assists, on 42.7 field goal percentage. 42.7 field goal percentage. And you're 6? Something like that? In this league where it's easy to score and it's all about efficiency, nobody's saying anything about this. And it's crazy to me because I'm a Kobe Bryant guy. And I constantly hear people belittle Kobe Bryant for shooting 45% from the field as a perimeter player, a wing player, a shooting guard, being guarded by players around his height, and played in an NBA where it's harder to score, slower pace, tougher defenses, and he shot 45% from the field. And all I hear is, Kobe Bryant's inefficient, Kobe Bryant's inefficient, Kobe Bryant's inefficient. What's your excuse for Victor Wembanyama? Shooting 42% at his height with his skills in the NBA where everybody's smaller than him And the NBA, this NBA is built to help scoring and scoring more efficiently. And defenses aren't nearly what they were back in the day. Make it make sense. Please. Make it make sense. And like I said, I understand. I know what he's offering. I know what he's offering defensively. I get it. But this is about his offensive game. If he could just improve on this, he'd be the best player in the league, probably. Or at least in the conversation. I'm not a Wemby hater. I love Victor Wembanyama. I want to see this guy succeed. And I hate the San Antonio Spurs. As a lifelong Laker fan, I hate the Spurs. I want to see this guy succeed. But he's got to improve. He has to improve on this. Yes, and I understand he's young. But he has a whole year under his belt. And I wanted to see some improvement. But he seems like almost much of the same player I saw from last year. In many aspects of the game. Not everything. But I get it. It's the beginning of the season. And I know he started off slow last season too. But I really hope he improves on this and stops falling in love with the perimeter play. Because he is letting defenses off the hook. And he is not capitalizing on his potential and what he can offer in a complete offensive skill set. I'm rooting for the guy. I want to see him succeed. I do. I do. Honestly, Wemby should be averaging, on God, Wemby should be averaging about at least 25 points per game if he can just get his field goal percentage up and play closer to the basket more frequently. Seriously. He should be a 25, 10, 3, 3, and 5 kind of guy. I don't think the San Antonio Spurs will ever be a legitimate threat unless he picks up this part of his game. Unless they create some type of super team and he just has that much talent around him to cover up his deficiencies and his offensive skill set right now. But he's going to have to improve there. Yeah, you can't be his size in this NBA shooting 42%. That's not acceptable. And all y'all little efficiency people, and y'all real quiet about Victor Wembanyama. I'm just saying. Yeah, I keep that energy with everybody. And I give the context, and I gave the context already. But I'm just saying. I should be excited to watch Wemby every single night. But I'm not as excited as I should be because I know that I'm just going to be frustrated watching him play. I know that. I know that. Shout out to Chris Paul, by the way. I wasn't sure what was going to happen to Chris Paul when he went to the Spurs, given it's Greg Popovich and he doesn't play his older players long minutes or lengthy minutes. But he's like, CP, I don't know what they did with you in Golden State and wherever you were. They thought you were done. You weren't getting many minutes. They treated you like you were a legit all-time veteran, over the hill already, and we're here, and you offer more with leadership and intangibles. Pop like, nah, Paul, you can still play. And Chris Paul, all things considered, he's playing very well and playing lengthy minutes per game, and obviously not prime Chris Paul, but he's looking pretty damn good. But this goes to show you that sometimes people just bury players because they're like, oh, he's older now. Bury him. And it's like, no, a lot of these guys still have a lot left in the tank. Give them a chance. They go out there and play, especially if their body isn't broken down. Just some food for thought. Anyway, listen, that's all I got to say about it. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I really hope this guy... And it's also on Greg Popovich, too, to enforce this. And that's crazy to me because Pop is more of an old school, set in his ways. The guy that once said, and I agree with him, the beauty of the NBA is gone because everybody plays the same way. Everybody just shoots threes. And for him to buy into this, or I don't know. Shout out to Greg Popovich. I know he's sick right now. I heard the news. He went to the hospital or something like that. I don't know the details. I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he's okay. But I'm also a guy that made a video about Coach Pop saying that, buddy, You should retire, man. Go do your thing, man. But he loves basketball. Probably what keeps him healthy mentally and physically. All right. Appreciate y'all for stepping in. Check out our Wemby playlist. Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.